Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good day. I just thought I'd go live and do my job searching on the reservation. Maybe I should vlog my job search and see, because it's so far. Do it live so we can see how long it takes me to get a job. And maybe I should just document all of it online to see, checking my tribal page, how what they need for, I guess, for a typical native, a native with problems on the res that didn't have it all. Nah, but you know what I mean? Everyone's life isn't perfect here on the res, and I'm not related to anybody that's on council or anything like that, so we'll see how hard it is for me. So you guys can see for yourself. But yep. So right now that my kids are in school, I'm able to go live and take some time out to actually do what I want to do. But yeah. And the reason why it's kind of dark in here is because I have my computer in here and my husband's sleeping because he has a night job pretty much. But he doesn't mind me doing this. But anyways, I hope everyone's day is going good. Because mine is. So checking back at the Winnebago tribe page, like they're always hiring at Head Start and um and chief of police, or like somewhere at the court. But like most of the time, if you look at the reservation, a majority of everyone has a felon or they might have a sexual offense on them too. So, and DWIs. So like those three are the top um, barriers, I guess, that they put for jobs that they need somebody to do, and so like they can't apply for those jobs. So a lot of those jobs are open, and then there's no program such as a temp agency for the tribes. Like the tribes could do that. I mean, if they had somebody that has the knowledge to be able to put that in place, and then or I mean, just to make it simple, um, I mean, they go back, everything that they do, they are putting it to the main top thing of other jobs, but yet we're a sovereign nation. So like I kind of don't understand that when they can be employing their own people and helping them get back on track. But a lot of them that do work here are always like, you got some negative to say about recovering alcoholics and recovering um, addicts. And so like, I don't know, they say this and that, but then they turn around and talk crap down on them. So if they do, like, say they relapse, because a lot of people, some may, they have that addiction forever. Like everyone else has an addiction. Just because, I mean, the way I see it is, if it's alcohol, that other person may not have alcohol addiction, but they got some kind of addiction that other people don't know about. But anyways, the whole point is they need help, and need help to make better habits and good habits for working. And so if they work with them and put them in those positions, then it should change. But a lot of these jobs, anyways, got off subject, are they put a driver's license on there. So like, I wish I could share my screen. I mean, I'm already on my own screen, but let me see if I can do that on here. I thought I had that on here. Okay, let me see. But I know that this is a problem for every reservation. And then people are always trying to say, well, it's like that in the cities, but I'm not talking about the cities or towns. I'm talking about Native American reservations that were given lands, and us as a people are related or family in that tribe. So that's what I'm talking about. And I ain't trying to be rude, but I'm just saying that's what my thing is. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Darn it. And the thing is, on a phone, I know it's different. But there should be some kind of share button. But anyways, just looking at these job descriptions, they did say that HR was supposed to have went through every job description to see if it requires a vehicle, but like a majority of them don't. And I think they just put it on there so they can't hire anybody or don't have to. Hello? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. All right. Later. And for like for driver's license thing, I've talked to a lot of people in Sioux City who are working, and the driver's license that covers the company's insurance, from what I looked up or heard. I mean, it can, but there ain't no way that it's going to cover your vehicle. And the majority of the people that work for the tribe do not drive Winnebago Transit's vehicles or whatever. They don't drive a company vehicle. And so I don't understand how that even they require you to have to be able to fit it. But what vehicle are you going to drive? And if you're going somewhere and you hit somebody in your own personal vehicle, they're not gonna, the company's not gonna pay for that. And you go to Sioux City and work for them, they're not gonna pay for that for you. So like, what's, you know what I mean? And the other thing is, if you're going somewhere in your vehicle, you should be clocked out of your job. Like you shouldn't be cruising around. Um, Depending on what your job is. I mean, CHR, we all know that they drive a company vehicle and they transport people to and from, the hospital or wherever they got to go. But other than that, for a dishwasher, because I've looked at dishwasher um, when they were hiring, and you need a driver's license for that. When you look at your main job duties, your job description, you're supposed to be there doing dishes, not driving around. So like, what's the percentage of you going to be driving, and what's, you know what I mean? Like that just, I don't know. And like on here, so they're hiring for a teacher, chief of police, child support case manager, education program manager, family support specialist. And all of those, you're going to have a good background, which means that already X's out how many people on the reservation. The only ones that probably could apply are the ones that are young and didn't pick up any charges yet, or a majority of non-natives that live off the reservation. But when they come here, then they really um, aren't familiar with our people, our ways, our traditions. And if they do get familiarized with it, then they end up staying here longer and working here until they retire. But I don't ever see any training. Anybody that wants to get a career in that field, like I don't see no training on putting someone there. The only people I see that they put there are either them or family members of whoever is doing the hiring, or. And then the way HR works is HR isn't doing the hiring. I don't even know. They call it recruiting, but recruiting off of Indeed, just, I mean, not reaching out. I don't see them working with the education department on things like that, like trying to best worker, or I mean, not the best worker, but somebody that is passionate and wants to do the job. Like most of the time, they just put somebody in there, and I ain't trying to be mean or whatever, but when I go to places, like they just sit there, and it's like they need to train them on customer service. That's what I think. Like, hey, good morning. How can I help you? Acknowledge the person, be nice to them, ask them, what can I help you with? Is there something I can help you with? If you need anything, let me know. Things like that. But I don't really ever see that. And it's just like, and a lot of people don't feel welcomed when they come and natives are working too. And that's like the backlash of some. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but I know I have. But they're hiring for a groundskeeper, and then looking at this, I mean, for a groundskeeper too, there's a lot of men that are ex-felons or picked up assault charges, DV charges. They can, if they want to hire their own people, I don't know, let's see, they have, if they need a driver's license. It says required qualification skills must have a diploma. Driver's license is preferred but not required. And then of course you have to have experience. So like this would be a good job for somebody that does not have a driver's license. But looking at the hiring person, this person reports to the lead groundkeeper. So whoever that person is going to do the hiring in that department. So this person who's doing it should also, they should have some kind of like policies on the directors that are doing the hiring of how to screen a resume, how to look at the cover letter, what it is they're hiring for, like things like that they need to know. Because why are they going to hire somebody? I mean, why even put in a cover letter and fill out a resume? And that takes like how long? Even if you have to tailor your resume to fit what you're looking for, that takes like time, 2 hours, 3 hours for people. And they take time to fill out this app. And then the person that's hiring don't even know anything about what it is they look for. I mean, do they even look at the resume or the cover letter? Or they just go through and look at the names like, oh, I'm going to interview this person. Oh, I don't know who that is. Put that on the side. Oh, so-and-so's, I'll interview him. I know him. And like, that's just how it is on the reservation. So like all these other people, maybe this person is a good worker, but they ain't all loud and they don't talk to everybody. You know what I mean? But they get passed up. But they need a job. They have a family. They have kids to provide for. But yet, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, putting it out there. So like certain people always get freaking interviews. Or maybe there's a certain number. What is that one thing called? There's a certain percentage to that for like companies in the city. The white people companies have to have a certain amount of minorities to work there, or else they could get discriminated against. So, but being that we're a sovereign nation and it's fire at will, I mean, you just got to look at all this stuff. It's just crazy on how this stuff works. But I'm just saying, like, that's why some people just can't get hired, and a lot of them get depressed. And like, I've been looking since 2023, and it's 2025, so it's been about a year, almost 2 years now. And I still haven't found a job, and I can't get a job because my kids go to Educare in Winnebago, so somebody has to be here to pick them up and watch them. I mean, that's just my situation though. And then my husband works in the city, so you know, we have one vehicle. My daughter works in the city now, so we're constantly going back and forth. So like, people need to look at that live on the reservation. But anyways, back to what I was looking at was at the jobs and driver's license. So like this would be a good job, and I'm pretty sure they probably have a lot of men that apply for this job, because there's a lot of men that don't have a job on our reservation. So that's a good one. The language apprentice, I mean, for my job seeking stuff, I usually see this one always on there. And I don't know who works up there. I mean, I know, of course, Blue St. Cyr's the director, and the old ones that work there, but I don't know who the apprentices are that work up there. But this one, you need a GED, high school diploma, Must be willing to submit a background check. And I believe that Winnebago HR does a background check on everyone. But just depending on what job you're applying for, like say Educare or Child and Family Services, they go back. I don't know. I guess it just depends on your charges for those positions. And this one, I don't know. I think they work at the school, so I'm not sure if violent charges or child endangerment or elder abuse applies to this. But I mean, they should put it more clearly on there. Like I'm saying, the problem with our reservation with people getting jobs is violent crimes, or maybe they got child abuse due to a DWI. So like that even keeps them from getting a job. So like I don't know how this one would work, but I guess having to reach out to somebody up there. And let's see. So for this one, you don't need a driver's license. So this one would be good for someone to try. I mean, if they're into language, that would be a good one for whoever. And then let's see what else is there. There's lead teacher, early Head Start, lead teacher, Head Start. Those ones, of course, you need to have a bachelor's to be a teacher, and you have to have a early child. I forget what it's called. To be a teacher. And let's see. So I don't know people in Winnebago that would apply for those jobs. So like HR would probably have to do recruitment for, I don't know, somewhere where other native teachers might be looking at. Let's see. I mean, I know that there are some people going for their early, what's the name, to do that in the area. They're hiring for a media and design specialist, and this person reports to the community outreach coordinator, which would be. Does anybody even know who that is? Last I knew, I thought it was Elizabeth Bayer, but I'm not sure. And this one required is a bachelor's degree in graphic design and computer science. I love you too. I guess you don't need a driver's license for this one, so they must have took it out, which is good for people, for the employment pool for tribal members anyway. And let's see what else is there. There's police officer. Of course, you can't have no felonies, and you have to have a good background for that, and go to Artesia. Pretrial service liaison. What is that one? Report to tribal court administrator, which would be Jennifer Berridge. That one is, of course, you have to have a bachelor's degree with criminal justice, human services, social services, or other related fields, it says, but I don't know, who knows who's going to be in there. And this one, I don't see that you need a driver's license. So yeah, this one you need supposedly a bachelor's degree. But Yeah. And then if you can do the duties, of course. So that one's pretty, whoever's interested in that. There's project coordinator, navigator. That one also reports to Jennifer Barrage. So she'll be doing the hiring for those. And let's see. I thought it was on.
And do you remember you turned it off last night?
Hold on. So this one, a completion of a bachelor's degree for the same thing. I don't see that you need a driver's license for this one. And then a project manager. That one reports to Blue Saints here, the Whole Trunk Renaissance director. Let me see. That one you have to have a driver's license. I don't know what vehicle they're going to be driving. That's the company up there. Or does it say you need to? Oh, actually, this one says must have a driver's license, dependable, and proper insurance. So basically, it's asking. I mean, I guess you'd have to show your own car insurance for that one. And required is bachelor's degree in project management and business administration. So this one is a good one. If you have a bachelor's and you got your own car insurance, because it doesn't have to fit the company's, because you're not going to be driving a company vehicle. So like that's what I'm saying, like I don't know why it even says that on it, because I don't see Winnebago have that many Winnebago tribal vehicles that say their name on there and drive it around. What else is there? There's a senior lawn labor, full-time, seasonal, so just for the summer. High school diploma or GED. And that's pretty easy. All you gotta do is just clean up and mow and weed whip, landscaping, clear roadsides. And that one you don't need a driver's license. So whoever's looking, senior lawn labor, no driver's license, just the GED. That's a good one. Teacher's aide. Of course, you need to fill out all that stuff for that one over there. Background check. GED. Hold on. I'm looking.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I did pause it. And let's see. What else is there? So I'm still on teacher's aide. I don't see a driver's license for this one. I'm just skimming through it real quick. Okay, it should be on pause. And let's see. Tribal Deputy Prosecutor.
It's 9.
Reports to Chief Clerk, Tribal Court Administrator. Regular, full-time. Of course, you're going to need a license for law. Never been convicted of a felony, well, for which she or he did not receive a full pardon. And you don't need a driver's license for this one. Oh, vocational rehabilitation transitional coach. Reports to the project manager. Vocational rehabilitation project manager, which would be, where is that at? I guess I don't even know where that's at. I must be not paying attention, but for that one, you need a bachelor's degree in rehabilitation counseling, human services, or other related fields. You must have 2 years of experience providing case management to Native Americans with disabilities. Got to know the tribal, state, federal regulation laws that apply to ADA, which is the American Disabilities Act, and vocational rehabilitation services. Must be, you have to pass a federal background check and have a driver's license for this one. That one pays $21 an hour. Closes on the 16th, so in a couple more days. I guess next week. Wait, when's this? 13, 14, 15, 16. So Tuesday, that one closes. Whoever's looking or fits that. Winnebago Indian News editor for that one. I believe you need a driver's license, a Winnebago. What did it say? I know I read it somewhere. Oh, must possess a valid driver's license and be insurable. So when it says be insurable, that means be insurable through the Winnebago Tribal their company's insurance, which means you cannot have no SR22, or I guess not have a lot of points on your license, because you're not going to be able to, I mean, you might not be able to go under their insurance. And I'm not sure if the Winnebago Indian News drives company vehicles or not. But if they should just take that off if there is. I mean, that's just prohibiting people from applying as well. I mean, if they have a driver's license with their own insurance, they could do that to make it easier. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. And it's preferred, not required, but they prefer bachelor's degree in journalism, communication, or English. And let's see. But I think that's a good job. Whoever wants to apply for that. And then the last one is what is it? WROL Winnebago Police Department Tribal Dispatcher that reports to the CAO, which would be Tiffany Buchanan. For that one, you need not a driver's license, high school diploma or GED. You got to do some training for that one and be certified because you got to carry a certification. Within 1 year, it looks like they give you time to do that. And then if you have time to do that because you got to work hours, weekends. And you have to have a valid driver's license, but it doesn't say if it's to fit the Winnebago tribal, the Winnebago insurance. So I don't know, that's a question I have for this position. But other than that, you just need a high school diploma. So they're hiring for, I'll just go over the list. Whoever's looking for a job. I should have wrote down if you needed what you need, like a driver's license, what kind of background, and if it needs a bachelor's. I should start doing that for anyone that's looking. But anyways, associate teacher, early head start, chief of police, child support, case manager, education, program manager, family support specialist, groundskeeper 2, language apprentice, lead teacher, early head start, lead teacher head start, media and design specialist, police officer, pretrial services liaison, project coordinator, navigator, project manager, senior lawn laborer, teacher's aide, tribal deputy prosecutor, vocational rehabilitation, transitional coach, Winnebago Indian News editor, Winnebago Police Department tribal dispatcher is what the tribe's hiring for. So anybody looking for a job, hit those up. The ones with no driver's license for the men would be groundskeeper 2 and senior law laborer. And did I say dispatcher? I don't remember. But yeah, those ones are open. So whoever is looking for, I think that one was seasonal. One was seasonal. So whoever, hit those up. So job openings for Little Priest Tribal College. Let's look at that. This is academics, business instructor, carpentry instructor, CNA adjunct, project manager, student research intern, student equity intern, student extension intern, resident assistant for one male. Are they looking for a male resident assistant? Learning lab specialist, recruitment specialist, tutor, and a project success student intern. And I'm pretty sure all of these you have to have a driver's license, because I know Little Priest does have a couple of company vehicles. Excuse me. And their HR usually puts driver's license. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are interns. If you're looking for a job up there, there's one for student services, the learning lab, and a recruitment and a tutor. and that's full-time. A bachelor's degree is preferred in marketing, business, education. It's preferred but not required. Must have valid driver's license without restrictions and insurable tribes insurance. That's why, like, I don't think a lot of natives work up at our own college, because that is another barrier. Like, and people that are in recovery obviously have something, and that's like a majority of the people. In order to get back onto life, to the working environment, you need to have a job. And to be able to get your kids back, you need to have a job, and able to be able to finish your probation on good terms, you need to have a job. So, like, these are hoop jumping stuff. But anyways, so you need a bachelor's, you need a driver's license to have, let's see, for the recruitment specialists. So you have to drive around and recruit. And learning lab specialists, that one is the same thing. Full time, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Working the qualifications, they want somebody that's working on an associate's degree in related field, possess a driver's license, and be able to be insured by the company, the Winnebago Tribal Insurance, because they follow the Winnebago tribe. So even though you're going to be sitting in the lab, you still need a driver's license. Like, you're going to be driving places and going somewhere all the time. So I don't think that even needs to be on there, but just reading it to you. There's a job opening there. And let's see what else. A tutor. They're looking for a tutor. Part-time. Have a valid driver's license to be a tutor and be insurable under the Winnebago tribes and company vehicle insurance. And let's see what else. Oh, a resident assistant. They're looking for a male resident assistant position. In that one, you have to stay at that facility. You have to live there, basically. You got to enforce curfew for all those who live in the dorms. So you're basically responsible for those young adults. There's you got to go through that job description, because it tells you got to be certified in CPR for that job. You have to possess and maintain a valid driver's license and maintain an acceptable driving record to be an approved driver. Yep. So for all the jobs at Little Priest, you have to have a driver's license, and it has to be you have to be insurable under the Winnebago Tribes company vehicle car insurance. Even if you have your own insurance or you have your own car, which X's out the SR22s, people with interlocks, or if they have too many points on their driving record, you won't be acceptable for this position, basically. But you can try it, but they're going to tell you that because they're going to do an MVD check and say this and that. So they basically don't want our people to get better. Basically, that's the way I see it. So the instructors, there's a lot of instructor jobs. Yep, you need all that for that. Let's see. What else is in Winnebago hiring? There's contract jobs, child support presenting officer, Winnebago Supreme Court Associate Justice, Winnebago Supreme Court Chief Justice, and transition coordinator. Those other jobs, like you need a degree in those. Let's see. For the transition coordinator 90-day contract, which is a 90-day job, they are looking for someone that has an associate's or bachelor's degree in public administration, social services, business, or related field. They want someone with 2 to 4 years of experience in project coordination, facilities planning, or human services, understanding of tribal governance and service delivery in Native communities. Let's see what else is there. Must pass background check and comply with all tribal employment policies. Sounds like it's just a. Well, actually, I don't know. It's to Miss School, so it's. Oh yeah, it says Human Services Department. So I don't know if it's Human Services. It might be what kind of background check that is, but they're hiring for that. Whoever's needing to apply. So for that one, you don't need a driver's license for this job, for this contract job. And it's 35 hours a week. So that one's a good one. But anyways, anywho. But anyways, yeah. So those are the jobs that are in Winnebago. For anybody looking that lives on the reservation or next to the reservation, I guess. I don't know. But we can look at Omaha Tribe employment to see what they're hiring for. Let's see. I know I looked on here a while ago and there was a lot of jobs, but looks like they already filled them. Anyways, it says they're hiring for an assistant cook standby at the senior circle. And that one, you just need a high school diploma, pass a background check, get a food handler certificate, and that's it. You don't need a driver's license for this one. And that's for assistant cook standby down bottom. Let's see. And there's juvenile to wellness court case manager. That one is 16 to 17 an hour. What else is there? So that one, you just need a high school diploma or GED. An AA degree or bachelor is preferred, with experience in child welfare, victim advocacy, offender services, or related field. Experience with community groups, governmental, tribal, state, federal, and community. And you must have a valid driver's license and be insurable by the tribal insurance. So for that one, you cannot have no SR22, no interlock, no high points on your driver's license. I mean, it has to be good, I guess, a good slate for your driving record. They're also looking for a police officer and sergeant of police. And that's nearby if you're looking. And I guess that's all I'm just going to cover today, is just the reservation jobs for natives that are looking. So, oops. So how are you guys doing? Usually I see Ponca tribe hiring too, but then you have to travel up there if you want to work up there. But yeah. So does anybody know about any remote jobs at all? Or Or no.
Go get it. It's still going. See? Look, it won't let me collect it. It's still going.
So I wonder why there's no summer feeding on Fridays. For the kids. The poor little kids who are at home and their parents might be working or grandma might be working. I don't know.
Few hours later.
But yeah. So I guess I'm just like to fill out some of these apps. I was gonna look on Indeed. And every time I look on here too, like I always see Great West Casualty Company hiring and Morningside Lutheran Church. And I filled out some apps for them and nothing, zero, zip. But this one job I got for I mean not a job. I got an interview for this remote job and it's a native one, and it was, what was it called? Native Crisis Counselor. And so it's a crisis line, a text line, text and chat. And you have to have a landline. You can't have HughesNet, Starlink. It had a whole list of them on there. And so I had to pass up on that. And I was like, dang, I could have freaking got a remote job and did something I would enjoy doing. But no. So I guess it wasn't for me. But it sucks because they're looking for Native Americans who can do that remote job. But the thing is, like, a lot of people that are natives live on the reservation, and some are way out, like way on the res. So that's another kind of barrier. I mean, I'm just saying, but I guess it's, because they can cut out or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know how that works. But a lot of people, all I'm saying is a lot of natives that live out on the reservation might not have good internet. So even then, they wouldn't be able to get that job and help out in that way because of that. And reservations, God, like, just thinking about history and how they and how we got this. But anyways, I guess I'll just go skim Indeed. They also have some good stuff on LinkedIn. Like Indian Collective, they were hiring. What was that? National Indian Congress one is hiring. I don't know. For me, like, I want to work for a Native American company or something in that area. So, like, I'm always looking for, like, Native hiring jobs. so that I can help our people. But I'm still looking, and I hope to find something soon, because it's going to be 2 years now. And it's hard living on the res, because like you count the costs. You like want your kids to grow up around your people, but at the same time you can't be able to provide for them because you can't get a job. And then to get a job, any kind of job, you could get a job in the city, but the thing is that gas money going to be worth it driving back and forth twice a day? Depending on how much you get paid. I mean, is that going to pay the bills? Then the light bill that we go through, of course, is high. Burt County. Then we live way out here, so we have to pay extra gas. We don't live right in town where everything's accessible. But anyways, yeah. I ain't trying to complain, but geez, sometimes you gotta face reality, you know? Everything isn't just cupcakes and rainbows and like, yeah. And you can only do it for so long, you know? Until you're like, oh, I'm getting tired of this. But yeah, that's life. Life is not a box of chocolates, as Forrest Gump would say. Just kidding. But anyways, I hope you all have a good day. It's 12, almost 1 o'clock. People are probably on their lunch break, on their 5th break already. Just kidding. Checking their Facebook. But yeah. Anyways, I better get on to that. Get to work, do what I gotta do. Well, anyone who's job searching, I hope you guys find the job that you're looking for, or I hope you find something to provide for your family, your children, your kids, because I know not having a job and not having money affects your family, even though people think that you need this and this and this to work to provide. I mean, like, think about it. A long time ago, our grandparents had to walk just to work, and they weren't asking for this and that and that. But around here, they're asking for this and this and that. Just for us, with natives, always have big families. So I'm just saying, you know, it affects the kids too when they don't have money and they don't have this because their parent doesn't have a job. But people don't ever look at the other side, and that's why I'm bringing this out. But it's out there. Nobody has a perfect life, and people are trying, and people are staying sober, and people are doing what it takes to get by and stay sober, even though life is hard. So quit looking down on people. Whoever's looking down on people. People have problems, but they're trying to get right. I'm trying to get right. Anyways, have a good day. See y'all later. Don't forget to say your prayers and give thanks for another day to make things right.